Welcome to the Wealth Beyond Debt Show. I'm your host, Billy, and alongside me is John. Today's topic is how repetition affects learning and memory. In the realms of cognitive psychology and learning, understanding how we acquire and retain information is paramount. This episode, we delve into the critical roles that repetition and spacing play in memory formation and learning. We will explore how these techniques affect our ability to remember and the underlying science that governs their efficacy. Through practical examples and a detailed examination of relevant psychological concepts, we aim to provide a comprehensive understanding of how to leverage repetition and spacing to enhance learning and memory performance. Welcome everyone to this session on repetition and space in memory and learning. Let's jump right into discussing how fundamental repetition is for forming long-term memories.
Absolutely. It's fascinating how every time we repeat information, our brain is essentially reinforcing those neural pathways, right?
Exactly. And, this process, what we call memory consolidation, is key. Each time we revisit information, we're making it stronger, turning fleeting traces into lasting memories.
Yeah. So in a way, repetition isn't just a trick. It's the brain's natural way to, encode information more robustly.
Right. And it's neat because repetition plays such a critical role in learning. Like when you practice a piece of music repeatedly, your muscle memory kicks in. It's like the difference between a casual strum and, truly mastering a complex composition.
Definitely. And have you noticed how this concept isn't only applicable to skills like music, but also to stuff like vocabulary learning in languages?
Oh, absolutely. It's like when you repeat vocabulary over spaced intervals, you're not just memorizing words, you're building a rich contextual network of meaning that helps recall.
Yeah, that makes me think of spaced repetition techniques, right? Reviewing material at gradually increasing gaps seems to really boost long-term retention.
Exactly. Spaced repetition is a game changer. It leverages what we call the spacing effect. Basically, instead of cramming, you review just when you're about to forget. And that triggers active recall, which, reinforces memory traces even further.
Now, I'm curious. Some might say, isn't active recall just a fancy way of testing yourself? Do you think it's that critical, or could it be considered optional?
Well, some might argue that, but I'd say active recall is essential. It's like having a conversation with your own memory. By actively trying to retrieve information, you're not only reinforcing it, but also identifying gaps. Without that, repetition might become mindless.
That's a good point. It's that active cognitive engagement that really cements the knowledge.
Yeah, and speaking of engagement, another interesting topic is interleaving different subjects. When you mix topics during study sessions, it creates stronger associative memory.
Yep.
It's like mixing spices in a recipe to create a richer flavor.
That analogy really makes sense. Different spices coming together can really enhance the overall dish.
Exactly. And beyond just academic examples, think about everyday learning, like how flashcards work. They're a perfect case of using repetition for, boost item memory.
Right, true. Flashcards not only support memorizing facts, but also help in creating a connection between an item and its context.
Yep, and that brings us to the fascinating topic of contextual memory. When the context during recall matches the context during learning, our brains have an easier time retrieving that information. It's like returning to a familiar place, isn't it?
Absolutely. Think about how you remember details when you're in the same environment you learned them.
Exactly, and this is crucial for understanding spatial and contextual memory over time. When we mix repeated practice with environmental cues, we end up with a more flexible memory system.
Yeah, I see that. Now, while we're on the topic, do you think there's any downside to focusing too heavily on repetition? Could there be a risk of getting stuck in a rut?
That's an interesting critique. Sure, over repetition without variety might lead to stagnation, but when combined with techniques like interleaving, spaced repetition, and active recall, repetition becomes, a dynamic process rather than a monotonous one.
Right, that makes sense. Balance seems to be the underlying theme here.
Absolutely.
You won't believe what I just found out. Check this out. My neighbor asked me a few days ago, are you paying off your mortgage the old school way or the new way? I said, what you are talking about. He tells me the old way, 30 years of mortgage payments with over $300,000 just in interest. Or the new way. There is a financial program that Debt Free Made Easy offers, which enables anyone to pay off their 30-year mortgage in just 5 to 7 years and save more than $190,000 in interest. Really, yes, I am for real 100% guaranteed. Here's the best part. There's no refinancing, no changes to your budget, and no changes to your lifestyle. Incredible. I was curious, so I checked it out for myself. The results? My 30-year mortgage and all my other debts will be completely eliminated in just 7.4 years, and I'll save over $219,000 in interest, which goes back into my pocket. I will be debt-free and living life on my own terms. Listen to me. If you're trapped in the old way, see how much time and money Debt Free Made Easy can save you. It's quick, easy, and life-changing. The banks do not want you to know this, but don't let them know I told you. The secret is out. Scan the code or click the link below and start getting some of this money back today.
And let's delve a bit into the mechanisms of memory. Cognitive psychology tells us that memory works in stages, from sensory to short-term to long-term storage. Repetition aids the transfer through these stages, especially from short-term to long-term.
So, not only are we building strong memories, but we're also essentially guiding information along the right path in our brain.
Exactly, and it's interesting to note that specific types of memories, like episodic, semantic, and procedural, are all influenced by the degree of repetition. Each has its own consolidation process.
And this is where the spacing effect especially shines, right? Because it not only reinforces the memory trace, but allows time for even a little forgetting to occur, which paradoxically makes the memory stronger when you review it again.
Exactly. It's like the saying goes, forgetting is actually part of learning. By spacing out repetitions, you're training your brain to retrieve information more efficiently.
Right. I've always found that paradox fascinating. Forgetting as a stepping stone to stronger recall.
Yeah, it's like you need that brief moment of uncertainty to really, pay attention and consolidate memory more effectively.
And what about motivational factors? I recall that positive emotional associations can turn repetition into not just a task, but an engaging activity.
Absolutely. Setting goals and celebrating small wins when studying can boost that motivation tremendously. The idea is to create a positive loop. Repetitions reinforcing success, and success reinforcing more learning.
Right. It's like using small rewards to stay motivated, ensuring that every repetition feels purposeful.
Exactly. And this strategy is especially effective when combined with techniques like visualizing progress, or even, say, using flashcards with spaced intervals. What it really does is ensure the learning sticks for the long haul.
Speaking of which, do you think current spaced repetition software does a good job of that?
They sure play a major role. Software systems automatically schedule reviews based on how well you know each item. It's like having a personalized coach that tells you exactly when to revisit material.
That's impressive. Yet sometimes I find that relying too much on software can lead to a sort of rigidity. There's a charm in manually interleaving subjects and testing yourself without a digital prompt.
I see your point, but hey, it's all about balance, right? One can use software tools while also engaging in self-testing and mixing up subjects.
Yeah, exactly. Fair enough. It's all about customizing the method to what works best for each individual learner.
Absolutely. And wrapping up our discussion, it's clear that repetition and spacing are not just methods, but essential principles that can transform learning. Whether it's through structured techniques like active recall and interleaving, or through the natural process of memory consolidation, these tools help us absorb and retain information more effectively.
I agree. It's a powerful combination that, when executed thoughtfully, can really, enhance both academic and everyday learning.
And it's amazing how deeply these concepts are rooted in cognitive psychology, demonstrating that science really does provide a blueprint for better learning habits.
Right, no doubt about it. A smart, strategic approach to repetition can pave the way for lasting knowledge and even help transform one's mindset.
Exactly. It's all about transforming those learning routines into something engaging and effective. Every repetition, every spaced review not only strengthens memory, but also builds a more resilient way of thinking.
What a compelling journey through the science behind repetition, space, and memory. It really highlights the beauty of learning when structured with the right mix of techniques.
It sure does, and I hope this discussion inspires everyone out there to experiment with these methods in their own learning. Remember, the blend of repetition with strategic spacing could make all the difference. Thanks for this engaging conversation. Every episode of our show brings powerful voices to the table. Real people with real stories, experts with experience, and dreamers who turn struggle into success. Our guests come from every walk of life, sharing insights that inspire growth, freedom, and transformation. Whether it's breaking free from debt, mastering your mindset, or redefining what wealth truly means, each guest leaves you with something you can use today to change your tomorrow. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and here on our website to never miss an episode. And don't forget to share these life-changing conversations with your friends and family, because one inspiring story can spark a whole new beginning.
Thanks so much, Billy, for guiding us through another wonderful show. And to our amazing listeners, thank you for tuning in to the Wealth Beyond Debt show. If you found today's conversation valuable, please hit like, share this episode, and help more people. We'd also love to hear from you. Drop a comment with topics you'd like us to cover next. We're all in this together, fighting against the big banks and putting your money back in your pockets. In conclusion, repetition and space are powerful tools for enhancing memory and learning. By understanding the underlying mechanisms of memory consolidation and cognitive psychology, and strategically applying techniques like spaced repetition, individuals can transform their learning experience and achieve significant improvements in memory performance. Incorporating motivational techniques and drawing inspiration from success stories can further amplify the learning effect, making the process more engaging and effective. Also, remember to be aware of contextual memory, spatial memory, and the effect of repetition learning. Ultimately, consistent effort and strategic use of repetition lead to better long-term memories and a deeper understanding of the world around us. This was a quick overview. To get the full details, read our blog on our website. Link is in the description box.